Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome to our very first Meet the Mentors live stream event. I'm Kristen Hancock. I'm with Ecology. My pronouns are she and her. I am thrilled to be here with you on this beautiful fall Monday in the Midwest. Would love to know where everyone is joining us from. I'm sure we've got people from a little bit all over the place. And here we go. Sometimes there are things with live stream events, as anyone knows who's doing a live stream event, that sometimes things happen and there's like a voice happening in my ear that's not happening on the screen, which makes things extra entertaining. I'll just pretend I'm a news producer and something is breaking. And that's what's happening right now. So would love to know where everyone is joining us from. Hop in the comments. I'm going to bring in 6 of our mentors very shortly here, who are all going to answer my riveting, groundbreaking news reporter questions for you all. The whole point is to get to know some of the people. We are doing this 3 times this week. So today's Monday. We are here at 3 p.m. Eastern. We will also be here Wednesday and Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern with different mentors each time. So you can get a chance to get to know them, ask them questions, learn a little bit more about the mentorship program with Ecology. Oh my goodness, Isabella's here from Buffalo. Love it. I'm sorry about your football loss over the weekend. I picked your team and I'm sorry. I was rooting for you. Okay, now I don't know. It says LinkedIn user to me. I don't know if people can see who this is, but it's a mysterious person from New Jersey. And I'm always here for mysterious people from New Jersey. So who knows? Who knows what else is going to happen today? All right, let's bring in some of our mentors. I'm going to bring them all in one at a time. Hello, 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 hello. This is testing out. I'm using StreamYard to do this. I'm testing out how many people can join us on screen at one time. So we have me. I am not a mentor. I'm just in charge of the whole thing. Laniece, Jen, Bridgette, Andrea, Shauna, and Jason. Jason's holding down like the man fort on this call. And if anyone can do it, it's Jason. So I'm thrilled that we are all here. We're going to do, we're only here for now 26 minutes. So some of this is going to be a bit of a lightning round. We are all in communications, myself included. We are generally long-winded, and that's just how our industry goes. So the rules of today are: do not be personally offended if I cut you off. And do not be personally offended if I move on and ask a different question while you are possibly still answering the first question. So thumbs up for everyone that we're all going to be friends at the end of this. Yay! Good stuff. Okay, Andrea has a cool new feature. Did we all see those fireworks?
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Earlier, we were on a call earlier, a member call with Ecology, and I recently learned that there's this cool new MacBook feature. I don't know if mine's going to do it this time, that if you have 2 thumbs up and it recognizes it, it gives you fireworks in the background. How cool is that?
That was me. Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
how cool is that? So there you go. Try it out. Everyone try it out and see if your MacBook, I think it's a MacBook thing, and I think you have to have the current software, the current
I just
operating system.
upgraded it on the weekend. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. There's a fun tip for everyone. So if any point in time anyone has any questions for people who are joining us, for any of our mentors, or just in general about the mentorship program, pop them in the chat. Again, would love to know where people are joining us from. On that note, we're going to do a little Brady Bunch roundtable, and I'm going to get each of you to introduce yourselves with your name, where you are, what your current work situation is, and what is your favorite Halloween candy? The hard-hitting, important questions for the week, because next week is Halloween. Is there anyone who is dying to go first? Yes, all of you. Amazing. I'm so excited. Jen, go ahead.
I'll go ahead, Kristen. I'm Jen Phelps. My pronouns are she and her, and I am just outside the Washington, D.C. area in Northern Virginia. My favorite Halloween candy is Willy Wonka bottle caps, especially the cola and root beer flavored ones.
Who is nodding with this? Jason's nodding. Bridgette's nodding.
It's good stuff.
Okay. Well, you know what? We won't fight over Halloween candy. So great. We can still be friends. Wonderful. All right, Bridgette, you're nodding. Oh, hang on. We're muted.
That may have been me. Sorry
There
about
we
that.
go.
Hi, nice to meet everybody. Welcome. My name is Bridgette Cameron. I'm with an organization, Ithaca. We're in the nonprofit space, merging education and technology. My favorite Halloween candy is there are two. I don't know if anyone remembers this particular candy called 1,000 Grand. It's caramel, chocolate, crispies, and chocolate. It's a great one. And then Jolly Ranchers. I am a sucker for those.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'll give you those. I don't know. I think 1,000 Grand might be an American thing. I don't know. And okay, on that note, Andrea is my fellow Canadian. Andrea, do you know what do you know what 1,000 Grand is? Is this a
No, and I
okay?
don't know what the bottle cap thing was either. Like we have completely different candy up here and completely different chip flavors as well.
Yep.
Now I'm curious about the candy and the chip thing, but we can get into that another day.
That's a whole other live stream event. That is a whole other live stream event. Andrea, why don't you introduce yourself?
So Andrea Greenhous, pronouns she, her. I'm based in Ottawa, Canada, and I founded an agency called Vision to Voice Communications. We're celebrating 23 years in business this year. And my favorite candy has to be those Kraft caramels.
I just stole a bunch of those from an airport lounge the other day. They had a hot apple cider station, and I was like, I see your cider, but I also see your Kraft caramels, and I will be filling my pockets with those.
Smart. Very smart.
My dentist is upset. He doesn't even know it. He's upset already, I'm sure, with me. Amazing, amazing. Okay, Laniece, why don't you go next?
Hello, my name is Laniece Williams Green. I am based in Virginia, right outside of Richmond, and like in a country part that's trying to become a suburb. But at either rate, I currently do employee leadership communications at a healthcare tech company. My pronouns are she and her. My favorite Halloween candy that you really didn't get out on Halloween, but some people did. It was a score bar. So I don't know if anybody is familiar with those.
Yeah.
They were my favorites, and if I couldn't get those, then Twix.
Oh, I'm a Twix girl. Yep, I feel you. Yep, amazing. All right. Shauna, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Shauna Fields. I work at GoDaddy. I'm based out of the Phoenix area. Pronouns are she, her, and my candy situation is a bit of a tie. My favorites are either, and I'm happy to eat both. Whatchamacallits, I always really like those, and the Tootsie Rolls that aren't chocolate, which you only seem to see around Halloween. I really like those.
Like
I don't
like the fruit flavored ones. Yeah, that's a better choice because the other ones are questionable at best.
I agree.
Yeah. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Give a Damn, Jason Anthoine.
Hey, y'all. I'm Jason Anthoine. I know I sound like I live outside of Atlanta because I do. I've been doing this about 35 years now. Right now, I'm running a firm called Audacity, internal comms firm. My favorite Halloween candy, or any candy really, is Almond Joy.
That's a bold choice. I'm gonna not nod along with that, but it is a choice. It is a choice.
Yeah. Another thing that we do not get in Canada. So
and you're not missing out, so it's fine.
Okay.
It's everyone's disagreeing.
More for me. For me. That's
Christy's joining us from South Florida. Christy,
Hey.
I would love to know what your favorite Halloween candy is. Also from Isabella, and I have a funny feeling that New Jersey is our friend Lydia. So if you have a favorite Halloween candy, let us know. Love it. Okay, so here's what I wanted. So Jason, you were the last one to answer a question, so you're getting the first question here. And I believe, are you? Yes. You are, I think, the only person on this call who was in our mentorship program previously.
The two previous ones.
Yes.
This is my third round.
That's right. This will be lucky number 3 for you. Why don't you, I would love to know. Oh, Shauna, that's right. Okay, right. Shauna, you were too. That's right. Okay, so here's what I want to know from both of you then. What is the most valuable thing that came out of previous cohorts of the mentorship program, recognizing that they were done a little bit differently in terms of formality and accountability and those kinds of things? Jason, what did you get out of being part of the mentorship program previously?
Well, my favorite part of any mentorship program is that usually people think, oh, I'm going to go in there and teach people, but I learn I learn as much as I think I'm teaching, and I really like that part. It gives me a insight into another company or another way to do things. Um, and when we talk about all those things, it just becomes very conversational and friendly. It's just a good way to have the type of relationship where you can just talk about anything that matters, whether it's actual internal comms or leadership or politics at work or any of those kinds of things. It's just a nice, easy, comfortable conversation to have. And again, I learn as much as I'm hoping the other people learn.
I would say that's a consistent thing that I've heard from a lot of people in mentorship programs in the role of mentor, that it's just as beneficial for them as it is for the mentees. Oh, Christy's coming in with dark chocolate of any kind. That's her. You know what? I can respect that.
She's
That's
right.
all right.
I
That's
like
all right.
that.
Okay. Isabella's favorite is Twix. Halloween's not as big as Brazil as is in the US. That's understandable. Twix. Love it. We got more Twix people. Shauna, what would you say came out of the last round of mentorship program for you?
Like the benefit of being able to take some of the stuff that I take for granted in terms of knowledge and share it was just incredibly, I don't know, it just really made my year a lot better. And being able to help my particular mentee was trying to pivot into the industry. So being able to take that expertise where I've transitioned and like really, really get into the specifics of what she's trying to reach was really nice as well. Just being able to be exactly like what she needed on any given week.
That's very cool. So I'm going to take that and build on that because I remember now, Shauna, that's right. Your mentee was someone who was kind of in comms, but really wanted to get into internal comms specifically. So Andrea and Jason on this call are our two consultant folks who are joining us. So Andrea, I'm curious for you, you're in your role as a consultant, because you've been doing this now, you said was it 23 years, which is pretty awesome. What's the unique angle then that you have for a potential mentee as someone who is not working in-house, but works with a lot of in-house communicators?
Yeah. So I guess there's a couple things, and you've sort of already alluded to it. One is I chose a particular path, and sometimes I look back on that path and think, well, if I was a boss working for a company, I'd probably have a pension plan, and I might have some more holidays than I already have. And a lot of people look at freelancing or going out on your own thing, and they may be afraid, and they might or they might think it's all roses and sunshine, and the reality is there's a middle ground there. So sometimes I can help people understand what the choice to go out on your own would look like. And also, like you said, we work with a lot of teams. So if you work in a small team or work in a larger team, what are the potential career paths and decisions that you might make? What are some of the skills and areas that you could sort of grow into? Because very few of us want to stay in the same job forever.
That's a great point. I'm always interested to see when people apply for the program as mentees, how important it is to them to be matched with someone who is in the same industry as they are. Because sometimes that's important. Look, I just did a thumbs up thing. Oh my goodness. The robots are paying attention. But I also think it's interesting that there are people who apply to the program who are looking to be matched with someone who is actually not in their industry, either because they want some variety, or they're actually looking to maybe not stay in their industry. Laniece, I'm curious for you, the industry you're in now, I don't know if you call it health tech or whatever the industry is that you would consider it to be. I don't know.
Med tech, I guess.
Med tech. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's fair. Is there something specific to that industry that you're like, oh yeah, it would be very beneficial to have someone in the same industry, or the lessons somewhat universal?
I think the lessons across industries are universal. So as someone who has worked in higher ed nonprofit, commercial design, and like corporate real estate, and now like med tech, like I've bounced from industry to industry. And so I think, yes, there's nuances. So, being able to, basically have a general understanding of how like the healthcare systems like work, and sort of like what the process from like thinking of an idea for like some sort of medical device to like implementation, like Googling like what that process is like is helpful, but knowing how to manage stakeholders, build relationships, right, think creatively, be able to see, 6 months down the road where somebody's just trying to get through the next 6 minutes. All of those things I think are essential skills to have no matter like what industry that you're in.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that's everyone's nodding. Jen, you're nodding. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Laniece, I started in nonprofit management doing fundraising, eventually sort of made my way into specifically internal communications. I've done marketing communications. I've worked for banks, tech, artificial intelligence. I now work for the government. I mean, I feel like I've kind of run the gamut, done some medical tech stuff. I would agree 100% with what Laniece has said. There are certain things that no matter where you go, those things are going to be those sort of staples to get you through. But of course, I think one of the most important functions in the internal communications role is listening and learning and figuring out how to take all of that jargon that we all deal with, whether we're consulting or we're in that business every day, and make it really truly understandable for folks, and really kind of like pumping up that plain language piece. And so I think that as long as you're really focused on sort of that aspect of things, your skill sets are probably employable across the board.
Yeah, I would agree. Bridgette, my friend Bridgette, I am curious. Do you have, because one of the questions for anyone who's curious about the application process for mentees, we do ask mentees about what would you like to see in a mentor? We do, just as an FYI, also ask people to, if they have someone specific in mind from our list of mentors, we let them list that. But there's of course no guarantee, because we're trying to match people well and appropriately. Is there someone, Bridgette, that you could describe as like the perfect mentee for you?
Oh, that's a really good question. Let me
And I'm going to ask
see.
other people the same question. So Bridgette's getting put on the spot because I know she can roll with it.
Thank you, Kristen.
You're welcome.
I would say someone who is open-minded to learning. I think that's a theme that's come out in other of the mentors' conversations just now, but really wanting to get the best out of it, milk it for everything it's worth, asking all the questions, exploring all the opportunities, not being afraid to ask questions, right? Because, it really needs to be a two-way street, right? Between the mentor and the mentee. And I think I would love to be paired with someone who is not in the same lane of comms as I am, because it gives me an opportunity to learn about that other area that I may be familiar with, but I'm not as strong in. And it challenges me to be the best advocate for that individual who wants to learn and grow in that space.
Very cool. Anybody else have thoughts about like, this would be the perfect mentee for me?
For me, I think it's someone sort of mid-career, since
Okay.
I've been in my career for 30 plus years and been like on the client side and then had my own agency. Someone who's ambitious and wants to understand what the options are for their next steps. I think, not so much around skills, but what are my pathways and how do I prepare myself for that path while keeping my options open. Like,
Which is extra
change. You want to like branch out somewhere.
Yeah, I think that's the theme I'm seeing too in some of the applications we've received, is people who are at a place in their career that they've accomplished things to date, but they're not quite sure like what's next. Like what are my options? Where could I go? I know I want to keep growing and keep moving up, but I don't necessarily know what that looks like, which is part of the reason that in this, even just this group of 6, and there'll be another one on Wednesday, another one on Friday, there's a pretty nice cross section of people who are in-house, people who are at large organizations, people who are at smaller organizations, people who are consultants, solo people, different industries, different backgrounds. So I think that's been, that's kind of been fun for me to piece together, it's like our gang of ne'er-do-wells or something. I don't know, like a
The
little
challenge
band.
is there's not a lot of VP of internal communication roles in this world.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
so if you want to be a senior leader, what are some of the pathways to get there?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Go ahead, Jen.
I think to echo sort of a little bit of what Andrea is saying too, for me, in any of the opportunities I've had to mentor folks, I think it's just really nice to help people discover the areas in which their talents lie, and maybe sort of like help to develop those things that they don't necessarily see as a real skill that they can bring to the table. As you get to know people, like Jason was saying, there's so much of that give and take and a mentorship program, which is just phenomenal for anyone who's participating. But for me personally, I just love seeing people blossom as they realize they have like potential in an area that they maybe didn't think about beforehand, because they've sort of been in a narrow lane for a while. And so watching people grow and helping them to see those possibilities based on the goals that they have, the things they've done, and sort of the way that they look at the world is probably one of the most rewarding aspects of this, and something I know I really enjoy doing.
I'm curious, Shauna, how much of your role that you would say as a mentor last time was really about, to Jen's point, was almost more about confidence building, I'll call it, as opposed to skill building?
Yeah, I was actually, my answer to this question would be a great candidate to partner with in a mentor situation for me is anybody that is struggling with imposter syndrome or proving their value within their work. In my previous experience, we looked at resumes, we looked at LinkedIn profiles, we talked about trajectory, and just kind of reset the idea that, there's certain skills that are just in a box, right? Whereas there's skills that you can take everywhere, and people don't always see it that way. And I know the people that are, or the robots that are looking through people's resumes don't always see it that way either. So being able to navigate all that is it's great. It's a great experience to help someone with.
Great point.
Jason, I'm sure you're nodding along too. Is this like the same robots that are doing this with my thumbs up? Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, I want people to give a damn. And so if they're interested in a mentor-mentee kind of program, then obviously they already do. But I echo what everybody else has said here. Just bring your curiosity, and then we can work on your confidence and your courage.
Oh, that's an interesting approach. Okay. Bridgette's nodding.
Yeah, I like what Jason said.
I think you've all got, whatever, even if you just started doing this job 2 weeks ago, you've already got a pretty good foundation of internal comms. That's probably not, where you need the most support. And I think all of us, and certainly the ones Wednesday and Friday, are all really good at that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Well, I will, I'm looking through questions here. I do not see now anything. We've got 5 minutes left. Is there anything that you all would like to share as a one sentence? What would you say to someone who is contemplating applying for this mentorship program?
I would say do it.
I was going to say, yeah.
Just do it.
What are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Don't miss out.
Yeah. I was going to say, just do it, because there are things that I learned by trying and failing, hitting my head against the wall, getting my hand nicely slapped, sometimes getting it slapped really hard, that I think, especially like early in like my career, had I had someone to like come into and like kind of avoid some pitfalls or like just gut check some things, because you know, ambition is great, but sometimes some common sense needs to kick in too. And, you know, very early on, I was like very ambitious and kind of lacking on like the common sense part. And so for me, it's like, you know, having a place where he's like, let me just gut check this with someone else before I do it. I think, you know, and that's like what I like to get out of like mentoring other people. It's like, listen, if you can avoid some of these very like pitfalls that I did and like I got bruised on, like I just don't want anybody else to have to like suffer through that. So like just go for it.
Right.
Mhm.
Good.
That's awesome. Love it. Love it. Well, thank all of you. Like I said, this is our first of 3 Meet the Mentor sessions. This will be recorded for anyone who is not able to join us live. I am most appreciative to all 6 of you. This is going to be a fantastic cohort. Applications are up and available. Oh, look, I have a fancy banner that I can put up. There we go. Joinecology.com. Oh, the screen got a bit messy. Well, that's how life is. So joinecology.com is where you'll find information on the mentorship program. Application deadline is October 31st, which is next week, hence the Halloween candy question. It's scary. Don't miss the deadline. Boo, or something like that. Join us for our next 2, again, Wednesday and Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, same time, same place. Thank you all for being here. I can't wait to see what happens with this cohort of mentors and mentees. It's going to be awesome. And to everyone, have a wonderful, happy Monday. Bye, everyone.
Well, see you.
Thank you. Bye.